And we are back once more. Holidays dealt with. Well, one more holiday this whole New Year's yark. New Year. Like that's going to be a lot of fun this time round. But welcome once again to the Wee Gamers. We are only three, for Wee Simon has done a bunk. We don't know where he is. He's missing, presumed missing. Paul suggested he'd gone for a walk, and I nearly choked on my Diet Coke.
I suspect that Duffy's probably already in 2021.
Send us a sign. Send us a sign, Duffy. Is it better there?
Oh, we can only hope.
Send us a message from the future about how wonderful it is in this better world called 2021, which, frankly, from the way things are at the minute, I think we can expect 2021 to be 2020 light. Yeah, so the New Year video for Wee Gamers. Wow, what a year we've got to recap.
Well, this wrapped up in about 4 minutes, lads.
I'd like to think so, because we're still using free Zoom. We haven't hit the big time yet, so we've got less than 30 minutes to catch it all. So, we could just sit here for a while, really, can't we? Kind of reminisce about 2019. Actually, what we should really do now is just cut in the 2019 video and just run with that.
That was a great video. Let's just do that.
I mean, compared to 2020, 2019 was gold. You just don't get years like that anymore.
No.
I wonder what our aspirations were at 2019. What were the games we thought, yes, looking forward to 2020 because we're going to play. Yeah, what were we expecting to come in Kickstarters? What were we?
Well, I was expecting the UK Games Expo at Essen. That didn't happen.
I was looking forward to Dublin Comic Con.
That didn't happen either. Nothing happened.
Yeah, possibly a trip over to Warlord, but that didn't happen.
Nope. All those plans. But still, it didn't quite turn into Mad Max, did it? It turned into Slightly Agitated Max. We're well on the road to Mad Max, though.
Mad Max is set in 2021.
It's not a good sign, is it?
Just saying. Just saying. You know, we're not
So,
there yet.
Well, we've got like 2 more days, and then...
Yeah, I'm not sure that all the post-apocalyptic, maybe that's what done it. Towards sort of the start of 2019 or 2020, I was quite getting into 7TV Apocalypse and starting to pin up all those apocalyptic figures. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe this is my fault.
Andy, were you playing Jumanji with them?
Funny enough, I do remember that day when there was strange drum sounds coming from all around the room.
I can't find the rhino and the elephant and the monkeys, but I've got this whole table full of post-apocalyptic stuff. I'll use that.
Yeah.
It's like I was playing Pandemic as well at the same time, and it all got mixed into one.
Wonders anyone even still playing that anymore? Or are they just looking at it now going, this game is so unrealistic?
Like, you can't fly to the other side of the world to set up a research lab because you're in lockdown.
Yeah.
That's Brexit's fault.
It is kind of scary, like, because, you know, we managed to get a few games in. And what I found kind of interesting was the first lockdown. I'm not sure which lockdown we're in now.
It's 14 or something.
Something like that. I mean, you know, 9 months ago when the first one started, everyone was like, oh, this is great, you know, opportunity, we'll get painting and we'll get some games in and we'll read the rule books and all the rest of it. And you're contacting different people, well, how's the painting going? Don't talk to me about painting. I hate painting. Oh, okay. Did you get reading that rule book? Okay. let's talk about something else then, shall we? It's like they've become these savage board gamers. And then you go into some of the groups and it's like, wow, it hasn't really affected us because I don't play with anybody. I just play solo games. I've had a great 2020, and you're like, I hate you. Just slightly. I hate you.
I was kind of fortunate in that regard that I really jumped like right up to my eyes into the painting pile. But then again, I was also off work as well for a long period too. So I had a good 9 months where I just completely wiped out my like pile of shame. Everything that needed to be painted was painted. I got to the point I was looking for things to paint. So I was painting bits of other games that didn't really need painted. And then I went out and bought a lot more minis. And then we had another lockdown. And then I just got fed up painting at that stage. So the pile went down, and then another pile just went up.
Yeah, you done that classic thing of, I know, I'm going to buy a 3D printer, then I can print loads of minis and paint them, just at the point where your brain went, nah.
That was the third leg to that equation.
Yeah, it's like, oh, 3D printer. Oh. Yeah, because you were kind of in lockdown even before lockdown started.
I got a good 7 months or something head start on it. So,
Don't you just
Yeah.
hate people that are ahead of the curve?
here, well, I guess if I was 7 months ahead of you and I was ahead of the curve, you guys get 7 more months of this to look forward to.
I can't even say that I just threw myself. Well, I did. I threw myself into painting for quite a while, and I think the Facebook page is testament to the achievement of painting that I managed, and then I started getting back into doing some commissiony stuff for other people, and then my brain just went, nah. So for like at least a week, I've sat here looking at the same 8 miniatures, and that they're just kind of going back up at me. And it's just like, no. And God, look, there was a couple of guys actually were really, really nice. You know, they emptied their cupboard, said, you're going to be at home, you've time to do unboxing videos and all that sort of stuff. I've got loads of Kickstarters I haven't opened. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Because you kind of get up and you go over and that's one thing, right, let's have a good look at that. Think, who the hell cares at the minute, really? Oh, you're opening a game. Wow. Who can I play it with? No one.
See, that's the worst thing, yeah. You get all these nice games and you open it up and you think, this is going to be great to play. It's like, when am I going to play this? Do you know what? I'll put a note in my diary for 2026.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. We got some. I managed to get some games of Judge Dredd in before all went belly up. And I was really enjoying that. And I ended up getting like 5 other people into it, which was quite an achievement. Where they all went, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I'm thinking, you've just spent 3 months in the house. If I'd showed you a game where we played with slices of bread, you'd be happy.
I play that game every morning and lose.
Yeah. Damn you, Toaster, you win again.
I think, Justin, we got a couple of extra games of Fire Tower in.
We did,
before
yes.
It was completely shut down. And we managed to introduce other members of the club to it.
Yes.
We did, yeah. That was a very busy. That was a very, very busy week we had. You know, just before the lockdown happens. Like, I think we gave like 5 nights or something.
Yeah.
It's like, right, lads, it's coming. Let's just free up all of our time and go and play games.
Let's play lots of games before we never see each other again. And now it's kind of come to a point where it's like, what would happen if we were really allowed to see other people like tomorrow? I mean, have we reached the point now where we go, socialise? Really? I don't think so.
You know, they're the worst.
Yeah, or we'll all end up getting back together, you know, and everybody, like, all the little irritating things, because you've had so much time kind of on your own, it'll be like somebody eating crisps, you're like, I'm going to stop. Oh no, I'm like that anyway. Other examples of irritating behaviours, it'll be like people farting in that in a room again, you're like, what? Oh, no, this is just, no, I can't do this. I can't sit in a room with like 9 different people farting. This room smells like, I don't know what it smells like. I haven't smelled that smell in months. I hate it.
Well, here's the interesting question for you. Imagine yourself in a post-lockdown world, and we all get back together to the club, whenever that may be, and we all do sit around the table, and everyone gets the boards and the cards and all out, and you roll a dice, and you're the first go, and then somebody else goes to lift up those dice. Ooh, that's where it gets tricky. Do you bring your own dice? do you sanitize the dice between throws? What do you do?
That's a
Because-
valid point.
You just nominate one person. Whoever brings the game moves all the pieces, looks at all the cards, but then they can't play. So the owner of the game, in that sort of scenario, loses out of the the whole sort of point of the game. Really,
Will we have a changed
it's
behaviour? Yeah, it's. I think there's going to be some people, judging by what you see on the internet. Obviously, it's a yardstick for life. There's obviously some people aren't going to give two hoots. They're going to be like, "Oh, the whole thing was bullcrap anyway. I don't care. Pass me those dice." But I think there will be a few who'll kind of go, "It's okay. I've got my own dice," and they might be hesitant. I could see potentially. You know the way we used to have games that had like 7 or 8 players. I could see potentially there being a nervousness at re-engaging with that.
I kind of envision it. It's going to turn into like Winston Churchill's War Room, where you're pushing like troops around the board with a big stick. Wargaming is going to involve pro cues from now on.
The sales of card sleeves will probably go up. Most
Yeah, but the
people
card
will-
sleeve becomes infected when somebody else touches it. So
But you're
when
not
you draw
gonna
the
ruin
line
the-
and all that.
You're
But
not,
you-
they're
you-
not ruining the
you can
core
wipe it.
card, though.
Yeah, you
there'll
can
be-
spray your sleeved cards with disinfectant. See, let's be honest. There's some people we played with in the past where we disinfected the games afterwards anyway.
Yeah. So at the minute where you leave the house to
Yes.
go to the shops, you have to go, right, what have I got? Glasses, car keys, wallet, face mask. Now we're going to have wallet, car keys, glasses, face mask. phone,
It's
chocolate.
literally sanitizer on
Disinfectant wipes, hand sanitizers, my own sets of dice, my own gloves to wear to touch the cards. Yeah.
And this is the thing. Will there be a period of time where people literally just go, "Do you know what? It's too much bother. It's too much bother to have that much worry about doing it." Yes, I think there'll be plenty who'll just go, "And what?" It depends. I suppose it depends how well everything moves ahead, vaccine wise, and all that sort of stuff, and how quickly that.
But do you need to completely sanitize a game and all its contents if it may sit on the shelf 3 or 4 months before it sees light of day again?
Well, yeah, I'm just laughing at the thought because how many times, even when there's been many people at the club, where quite often everyone who comes kind of still plays in their little bubble. Who's their bubble now during this? So what? Hang on, what's really changed? Sorry,
Like, hold on, I'm seeing less people that annoy me this week.
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it might be all different. I think it's probably going to be down to a personal level of how well you weathered all of this, and how much longer it goes on. I mean, there is the best part of a year. That's enough time to change your behaviours and to cause the odd, because even in the supermarket now, everybody that I see apologises if they have to walk past you. Nobody ever used to apologise for walking past each other in the supermarket. It's like, get on my road! I want bread rolls! And now it's like, no matter who they are, even the ones that, with the whole, you have to wear your mask in the shops and stuff like that there, and there's always the ones who are kind of like, I'm not wearing mine. But even those ones are kind of like, oh, sorry, excuse me, and kind of literally trying to go past each other. It's odd times. This isn't great 2020, 2021 content. This is like therapy. But that's because even we 4, I've put a holding picture up for Duffy of just the Wee Gamers logo. Yeah, but you have to admit, even ourselves have interacted a little bit less because digital interaction is not as much fun.
No, I mean, we were talking about this before, that whenever the lockdown started, you couldn't really get together to game, so RPG, let's all play D&D. And we Lewis kicked off a really good 2-night game. Brilliant, it was really good, but just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
As good as it was, it just wasn't the same. You need to sit around the table. And you need to be able to sort of stare people down and have the feel of the room and just that bit of crack in it. You can't really have over the likes of Zoom or Facebook or whatever. You just need to see people.
Yeah.
For games like that.
I think psychologically, if you were in Australia and Paul, if you were in I don't know where else I would picture you, because really Newton Ards is about as far removed a place as it needs to be. It's like, who's going to go and visit you? Only someone that lives in Bangor. But yeah, but I think
you're implying I like going to Ards.
No, but it's the nearest place. It's the nearest place. You say you can travel, Paul, but you don't like doing it.
We're not allowed now. It's after 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Club's gonna have to start at lunchtime.
I've got the clock ready in case it all goes pear shaped. The purge. Was that a noise?
We may be slightly off track with sort of our review of games for 2020, but just earlier on, Paul and I were talking there about Solar which has probably been one of the most played ones prior to lockdown, because not much has happened since lockdown. But that was a little gem of a game, and it got played to death. I think it was Chris Fawcett was the first one to bring it along to the club.
Yep.
And everybody who's played it has just went, that's class. And we all went through this mad period where we were trying to win that game. I don't know how many times we failed the last round or the last card. But brilliant game for 20 quid. Solar check that out.
Yeah.
Totally worth
it. It did seem to be a nice one. I seem to remember young Mr. Brashaw cracking out that Great Western Trail 2 or 3 times before it all went belly up as well. And he seemed to it polarized people. It's been the first game in a long time that I've seen a small group kind of went, "Ooh, Western Trail, yes, love it," and then the other faction went, "I'm going to burn that if you put that on the table." I am literally going to burn that. That is the worst thing I've ever played in my life. I was among the I will burn it section, I have to say. I really did not gel with that game.
I'm actually trying to think now. Was it late last year, early this year, whenever Tang Garden came out to play? It might have been late last year, but we're just starting to get into it. And I just get everything painted up, and then lockdown happened as well. So that was one of the better games in the last 12 months. It seems strange saying 12 months now because we've been indoors for 9 of it.
Yeah, it feels like you got Tang Garden at the start of the year.
It does, doesn't it?
We definitely played it up in Whitehead. That's been a long time ago.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I remember it was dark outside.
Anybody watching at home? I also remember seeing it playing. What time of year was that?
Yeah, I also remember at your second game of it, you all announcing, "Oh, we played it wrong the first time. What did you play wrong?" Everything.
Everything. We're too distracted by this lovely looking game to really
it's so pretty.
Get the rules.
It's so pretty. Well, I'm kind of chuffed in that obviously you know that you got me addicted to Parks, and somewhere in this room, piled up in a corner, is the expansion for Parks. That at least came Nightfall. And congratulations on winning the competition.
Yes, a little envelope of stickers.
Yeah, because they wouldn't send you your actual prize.
Yeah, and the envelope of stickers arrived the week before the Kickstarter stuff did, so I did offer to pay for the shipping as well, but apparently not. So I won the prize on the website, and they picked somebody else, but I got consolation stickers, which I give to you.
Yes, you did indeed. I'm not going to stick them in anything because I'm an adult.
I'll be honest with you, I was quite disappointed with that because I did nothing but rant and rave about Parks and completely converted yourself and several others to it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I won a competition with Parks. And it's like, yay, stickers. Yeah, it's something. But it was a bit...
maybe in some
Yeah.
respects that was a precursor for how the rest of the year was going to go for you.
You're like, yeah.
If we were Romans, somebody would have probably Paul. I imagine Paul being, the bald one in a toga, frankly. But I can imagine Paul just sort of standing there, with his goblet of hemlock ready, going, "That's an ill omen." You blinking Romans. There has been other. There's been a lot of Legion stuff over my table, and there's a lot of Legion stuff in the
yeah.
corner of my table too.
So much Legion stuff. To be honest, I've hardly spent any money on Legion this year, but I did invest in that resin printer, and I have been printing out a crazy silly amount of Star Wars Legion minis, things that just aren't available elsewhere. And yeah, I don't know how many I have, but there's too many now. I'm tripping over them.
Yeah, you do tend to go off the deep end with it. I've got most of Simon. Well, let's face it, I've painted all of Simon's army, and now I've got the next wave of Simon's army sitting in the corner. There's a tank, and there's, I don't know, it's some sort of big chunky robots.
Well, if it's confession time, you want about 3D printing. There have been photos in the bunker of my printing of the Masters of the Universe minis, because I'm working in advance of the Masters of the Universe game, which is due out 2021. And I thought I'll print out 5 or 6 of these, which then turned into about 108, I think it is. But they're all painted because I've had so much time on my hands. And then I got the list from the company of the games or the minis that are going to be included in the game, and I think I've now 4 times as many as are required for a decent game. But yes, I fell into a pitfall of it's incredibly cheap to print minis in resin, and it's very satisfying, and you can do it and walk away and come back, and they're all done for you.
Yeah, but you also bought all their special limited edition ones. That
I did actually. Do you know? I tell you something. The last one I ordered, and it arrived the day before Christmas Eve. It took like 3 days at this time of the year during Christmas and during a pandemic, and like 3 days later, it was sitting on the doorstep.
Yeah, and that was coming from like Italy or something, wasn't it?
Poland. So
that's like Italy.
Archon Games. Well done, lads. You shipped that all the way across Europe in next to no time at all. Fair play.
They didn't personally. There was couriers that done that.
Well, whoever it was, they were very, very quick. I think Santa himself got that here on time.
Could you imagine if Paul down in Ard there made miniatures? The number of times he'd have to make the trek over to Civilization there in Bangor to actually get them posted.
Oh, come on. Be fair, I think Art has a post office now.
Yeah, but it's part-time.
You can still send telegrams.
Yeah. Paul still stands up for the Queen's speech on TV at Christmas. As everybody should, obviously. Yeah, well, look, I think we've summed up. The only other cool thing that I've got to show you is that I haven't shown you is controversy. I bought miniatures. Is this controversy? I bought miniatures for a game I don't own.
Yes.
No, that's normal.
I bought.
Do you see what you got there, Andy? You got the little red one and the little white one there, sitting one on each shoulder, giving you different things. You know.
Yeah. Well,
is it bad? Yes. No.
It's the first time.
Normal.
It's the first time I've indulged in a little bit of cosplay vanity with miniatures. So I got Percival Graves from Night Models.
Knew that was going to happen.
But also got Grindelwald.
Oh,
it's huge!
Too far. You went too far.
It's huge! It was kind of worse than that, though.
Okay.
Well, you know the way we've got lovely friends who generally have nothing to do with miniatures. But they've a lot to do with Harry Potter. So I opened up Messenger and went, I'm ordering these things. Do you want any? Several of them went, ooh, those are pretty. I went, you have to build them and paint them. And they went, whatever, I want them. So poor Amanda and Adam and Danny Brown also joined in. And they all got miniatures of the characters they cosplay.
My good neighbour Amanda up the road, only what 4 or 5 doors away.
Yep.
Good luck building and painting those. They're very brittle.
I've actually had these ones out.
They're very nice.
The second wave things seemed to be a little bit better. I had a little bend at Percival's wand, as you do.
Oh.
And it didn't come off in my hand. So that I thought boded well. That's it, Paul. Keep your face straight. Go for it. No, he's away. He's away.
Now, to be honest, I haven't seen any of the expansions, but the original boxes did have a lot of broken bits.
Yes.
Paul's gone. Paul's gone.
He's sold out. He's punched his ticket. I was amazingly reserved. Obviously, Night Models had their, I don't know, Christmas sale. Was that what it was? Probably. So, you know, models that were normally like 14, 15 euro, which to me is like, I'm never paying that for a miniature. What do you think you are, Games Workshop? We're down to like £7. So it was like, ooh.
I'll have 3 of them.
No, by the time everyone got their orders into me, some of it was already out of stock, and it was like, curse you. And then you go and look at the Batman miniatures, like, I can't make up my mind. And, you know, if you were Justin or Simon or Bob, you would go, I'll just have them all then. But I'm Andy, and I went, no, I've got a £5 in my wallet, I'm having that one, or none of them. I'm having none of them then.
You didn't just go around and show them to Simon? Oh, you couldn't? You just send them the picture and go...
No, I couldn't just go around and do them. It's, yeah, I gotta say, we missed Duffy being here. I'm very annoyed at him, considering this was like almost as much his idea as all of ours. Except yours, Paul.
No, it was like only a week's notice. It's not...
Yeah. Everyone okay for 9 o'clock tonight? Maybe he just meant he was okay. I mean, he's well and healthy. That's it. I'm okay at 9 o'clock tonight. So 2021, boys. You know, let's write off to July, say, and let's imagine.
No, don't do that, because UK Games Expo happens before then. And I want to go to that. I want to go to there.
So, Paul, 2021, writing off sensibly to about July.
Sensibly.
Quite. I didn't want to use the word optimistically, but I'm being optimistic. What anything games-wise that you are actually looking forward to? I mean, let's not dwell on stuff that might or might not happen. Let's dwell in the land of things that are going to happen. Games that are still getting made and being posted.
My Kickstarter of the new Fire Tower is allegedly coming around about July, I think.
Very nice.
I'm hoping. Such was the success of the first game. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I really am. Runaway Parade Games. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just hope they don't run a competition. Yes, you were very taken with it, spying the little shiny stones.
And I will play that game until I win it. And I think once I win it, I'll probably put it away and go, that's it, done.
Yeah. Here, child, play with these shiny stones.
I think the thing I'm looking forward to most this year, game-wise, They Live. The game of Live. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that.
Bit of drama around that. Have you been reading your communications? So
no, I've been trying to avoid them.
Well, you know the way there was the big pledge for having yourself immortalized in the game?
Oh, yes, I did. Sorry, I did read that.
The dude pulled his money out, used PayPal, done like sneaky things or stuff, allegedly. Dirty. So
they had his likeness and the likeness of his friend or partner or somebody in there as well.
Yeah. So then some celebrity dude from, I don't know, some TV program that's a mate of theirs went, hey, don't worry about it. Pistol fingers. I'll help you out. You can use my likeness because I'm awesome. And they've kind of fixed it and stuff like that there. there's a new Kickstarter coming on the 19th of January that I'm kind of excited about a little bit. And it's another Beezer Games, you know the guys who've done the really fancy Suburbia.
Yes.
You know my Suburbia that's in like a box
The
that's
one that arrived in a crate.
yes, that's almost as big as me. They're doing the castles of Mad King Ludwig, isn't it? Yeah, I've forgotten the blinking name of the game. But they're doing like a prestige fancy pants, laser embossed, etched, full colour, high definition, mad tray. They're basically doing Suburbia for it with its expansions.
Are they going to airlift this to you this time, or
It's smaller.
is it? No way.
No, it's not.
It's not good whenever you realise the box has wheels.
It's not for. Though there's one thing that I have to say I was kind of glad about. It's got a solo mode, so I was able to play a game of Suburbia. I still
Do you know,
lost.
I can remember whenever Paul, Simon, myself, and Chris were over in Essen, and we saw that version of Suburbia, that one copy that I had left, and we debated, should we get this and bring it back? And we thought, we'll have to actually get another seat on the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, it was reduced to what, 250 quid, something like that. Mr. Duffy was very close. It was very, very close.
And
It was, at one point I was thinking, is he going to leave his clothes behind and just pack that?
it's so not his game either.
No, it's not really.
No.
But
And it's frightening the number of games on his shelf that I've seen them because he's kind of gone, look what I got. Kind of gone, cool. Are we going to play it? No. Why? Oh, yeah. No, Ted, rules. Right, okay. So he's got like that black rose, the mad kind of dungeon, and it's awesome looking. It's like, we're ever going to play that? Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a year. When? Well, now you've had a free year.
there's an entire year in which you could have learned those rules inside out.
Yeah, you could have watched the videos, watched the tutorials. Heck, you could have probably Zoomed with the creators and had a free chat with them. But there we go.
That's the thing. Everybody's going to want their own copy of rulebooks now. You're not going to be able to grab the rulebook off people like that. Get your dirty hands off there.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's like, no.
You see, this is the thing we do now. Whenever we actually do eventually get back together, whenever that may be, everybody just pass your rulebook to one of two nominated people, either Roger or Andy Barr. They're the two rulebook gurus.
But they might not even want to
download their own version, photocopy.
Yeah, they might not even want to handle your rulebook. They might look at you and go, no, Justin, it's okay. You set it on the table and turn the pages and I'll read it. Nah, Roger will not care. Roger will buy it. There's your book back.
Actually, saying that, I think Andy and myself have quite a lot of the same games, so he doesn't need to borrow my rulebooks.
Yeah. What are you bringing tonight, Justin? I'll bring these books with me for my collection. Yeah, so that's it. So basically, we haven't an awful lot to look forward to either. We've become so numbed to it all that we've got like a game or two, and maybe an event if we're lucky, and going out for coffee again. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Being able to walk down the street and go, I'll have a caramel latte, please, and that seat in the corner, and that croissant. My good man. They just sit there for like 3 hours reading a book. Are you okay with that coffee? I'm fine with it. Yeah, my book.
Would you like another 16 coffees? Yes, please.
No, I have to say I have used lockdown constructively to become better of my insane addiction to caffeine. Honestly, I still have almost as many coffee pods from the start of lockdown as I do now. I've used literally 2 packets.
And how are you doing that?
It wasn't good for a while to be around me, but that was fine. Because nobody had to be. But I would like to thank Coke Zero for being
Send on the free stuff.
for being my methadone. Yes, I've replaced one mild addiction with another, and now this lockdown I'm working on dealing with the Coke Zero addiction. I have 9 crates of Coke Zero.
Sure, it's like a party in your mind.
And now I'm going to go to the vending machine and get my child welfare French fries. Because it is like idiocracy out there. It's kind of scary. Yeah, I've got a couple of cosplay costumes pretty much finished. That's the other height of my lockdown achievements. Paul, on the other hand, has done DIY jobs in his house that he's very proud of.
I haven't stopped doing DIY jobs in this house, to be fair.
I'd love to go back to the but can't do that now.
Can't prove any of it. Although I'm looking at getting one of those big IKEA, they call them Kallax systems, because I've now run out of space to put games. So we're now potentially going to have a system over in this wall over opposite me.
When you say run out of space, do you mean you now own more than a shelf's worth of games?
Correct.
Right. Because, I'm not being mean, but when the name Paul's mentioned, what doesn't immediately jump into my mind is a vast collection of board games.
Correct.
What jumps into my mind is, I'll play anything, lads.
I'm not going to ask what jumps in your mind, but my name is mentioned.
But as a result, I've got Fire Tower coming. I've got the Captain is Dead Lockdown, which we played at the start of the year a couple of times.
You may take that game, you may burn that game, you may glue the ashes, clear the frisbee and fling it over a rainbow.
Still not convinced we've got it right. I've now got Ticket to Ride. I've now got, Junkyard. I've got Ravine. I've got Catan after playing it at the club just before we all get locked down.
Welcome to the 20th century, Paul. When are you getting new curtains?
Probably another 10 years, mate. They're only up 3.
Whilst I'm glad that you've got on board with the whole board game thing, new curtains, Paul.
Not my choice.
Andy can't say anything, Paul. Let's be honest. He's sitting there with a false background.
Yeah, but that's because I didn't do the DIY.
I do have a green screen now, though.
I've got a green wall. You've got a green screen.
Well, it's still in the pack. The youngest one got a fancy camera to do YouTube videos and stuff on, but it comes with a green screen, so I'm going to have a look at that tomorrow.
That'll be a bit of fun. I would
love. He shouldn't be partially invisible.
I would love to be a fly on the wall. Would you not, Justin? To hear him impart his pearls of wisdom on YouTubing. Well, what you need, sweetheart, is a pint of bitter and your mobile phone. And after that, other people normally do all the talking and stuff, and it just happens.
You think it'll be like this, Andy? Hello, YouTube. I'm talking to my video. How to make this thing work?
Is it on? Is it on? There, I think it's on now. Yeah, there we go. Right, go ahead and talk, Pat. 42 minutes of looking at Paul's chest.
Who is that guy?
Dad, do you know how to live stream? Well, I don't know how to do dead stream. Love it. Normally, when we reach this stage, it's that natural point where we know it's time to kind of bring things to a close.
We started yet?
We started yet. Oh, cheekers, I forgot to hit record.
Ah, well.
Do you know, I did do that several times. There was a couple of times over lockdown where kind of the emotional endurance got high enough that I thought, you know what, I could do a video tonight. Yeah, I'll do a video. I mean, obviously towards the start of lockdown, I got doing the ones with like Dispel and stuff like that. And that was kind of class. It was different talking to a band and things like that, but obviously it's just been me, so it's, you know, I'd sit with my creative team and we'd have a discussion and reach for the game that was within reach. And about 3 times I done like 15-20 minute videos and then looked down and hadn't hit record and just went, I don't care.
Just curious, Andy, how many hours of footage do you have with yourself and Carl from Crooked Dice? Because you've knocked out a fair few of those videos this year.
I have no idea and no way. Well, there is a way to analyse that. I could literally go into YouTube and go, how long are each of those videos? They're usually, I suppose you could probably average them at about 45 minutes. If you don't count the 12-hour build-a-thon for charity. If you count the 12-hour vid for charity, we've over 12 hours of footage.
That's season 2, sort of.
Yeah. It's been funny though, because even with lockdown, I mean, obviously things didn't stop for Crooked Dice, so we would sort of make a plan and we would do a vid and we'd say, right, we'll do next week, and then stuff would just happen. You know, be it that was the day you ended up, oh, we'll have to go out and get mum stuff. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do a video this morning. Or he would be, oh, Kickstarter's coming to fruition. I'm going to have to be available. I have to be on the, you know. And then the number of times, and we were admitting that even with lockdown, we actually couldn't maintain getting once a week where we could tie up for that 1 hour properly. Which just goes to show you life does go on because other things end up happening. It changes, but it presses on. You know, I'm still not going to be a solo gamer though. That lifestyle sucks.
You don't like playing with yourself, Andy? No.
Not without you there. And you wonder what comes into my head when I think of your name. No, you don't wonder. You know perfectly well. It's like, would you pass the bleach for my eyes, please? I have to talk to Justin now. After this, I'll ring my mum so that I can like bleach my mind again as well. Nah, but there we go. So, folks, that's us. We're going to wrap it there. We obviously haven't all got together. We haven't got playing our games together. And we haven't got talking together as much. And that's just the reality of it. But we have tried to always be there for one another because some days some of us have had good days. Some days some of us have bad days. Some of us have had bad weeks. And it's not easy for anyone. So all we can probably say to you lovely people out there, including my mum, thanks for watching, Mum. It is appreciated. Still hasn't subscribed though. God bless her. She's scared. She's scared of online. She's scared of online commitment. But thinks it's a dating app. I told her it doesn't cost her, and she says you've already cost me more than I'll ever get back. But yeah, look, 2021 will hopefully be uphill for a while, and then it'll be plain sailing, and we will all hopefully get back to some degree of normality. We will even try to get back to some degree of normality by churning out once again the odd weekly video about something. Now that Paul's got a green screen, we can all look forward to regular installments from wee Paul and his chest.
Oh, I'll be unboxing Funko minifigures. Yay!
Well, what size green t-shirt are you? I'm going on Amazon now to send you one.
Send him one. No, but listen, in all seriousness, the one thing that lockdown has sort of reminded me again, be it about videos, be it whatever, you know what? Take joy in whatever it is that brings you happiness and brings you bliss. And if you want to unbox Funko figures and go, here's a new Funko figure, who cares? If you enjoy it, do it. Justy, if you're enjoying printing miniatures, get those videos rocking out of, do you know what? I guarantee you, if you'd done a video of just sitting watching a 3D printer on time lapse, printing a miniature, someone will watch it. Someone will watch that and
They'll
thank
watch
you
it.
for it. Yeah. Ironically, you might watch it. Oh, he's streaming it live. It's
Oh,
your
what a year!
It's me in bed watching my miniature print in the other room. But you know what? It has been funny because I've had a few PMs sent to me from folk who've just kind of got just wee thank yous, just loved your wee video. It cheered me up. It brightens the week. It brightens the day. It brightens whatever. And you know what? That's what we've always tried to do with the club. It doesn't matter if 3 of us are there, 6 of us are there, 30 of us are there, 60 of us are there. As long as everyone that's there enjoys themselves and goes away feeling a little bit better about it all and can cope with a week. And that's what we try to do with the YouTube channel as well.
Nanny and I, we've just met and just sat and talked rubbish all night. And not even got a game out of the box.
Yeah. Which this is kind of what this has been like, which I've loved. If you've got negative comments about this video being about nothing, folks, we don't care, because this video is about us spending time together. You were invited.
Seinfeld was a show about nothing that made millions. This is a video about nothing.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to hold my breath and lose millions.
we like that. Listen, if this was about millions to us, we wouldn't be doing this. we would have taken the hint long ago and all found something better to do with our time. That being said, very shortly, touch wood, I will be having a chat with Chris Macaulay on the theme of some Dracula-related things, which, if you've been following his Facebook page, he has been working in an official capacity in that realm. And a little birdie tells me that I might get him on video joined with a couple of other known celebrities who are now involved in the project with him too. So that might be an interesting little development. Very shortly, I can't say more than that, because people and schedules in Hollywood have to be consulted before they can commit.
Right, internet, cover your ears.
I shit you not. And there we go. That's our second expletive of 2020 and our last. Our last, Justin. So, any parting thoughts from yourself, JLM?
Just that next year's better than this one.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, I think that's to be honest, that's what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'll be glad of.
I really, I was saying to you earlier, I have missed gaming so much, and I've missed just getting up to the club and just sitting around and talking and having banter and a bit of crack. It's not a good hobby to have during a pandemic, during a lockdown. But hey, we'll get back together again soon, hopefully.
Well, you've made lockdown tolerable for me plenty of times. Paul, any insight for our young viewers out there?
Am I looking forward to playing new games?
Who would?
Anything for new games to me, they're probably like 20 years old to you, considering I've just got Catan and it's like 25 years old. I'm looking forward to learning it.
We'll be putting you in a special corner with Roger and his MB game collection.
I've played Subbuteo before.
Do you like retro games? You go over to that corner there.
There's this game I've heard of, Paul. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it. Monopoly? Monopoly. Get yourself a copy of that.
Yes, if only you had friends you could play it with.
Like Roger.
That was it playing the fact that he's got a copy of Friends Monopoly that he told us before we started recording, you see?
I don't want to know.
I was paying attention. You've probably got Mandalorian Monopoly knowing you.
Not yet.
Not yet! It's on sale in Zavvi, in case you're interested.
Ooh.
I don't know. There's a lot of hate for Monopoly. I don't get what the hate is. I mean, you know, it just sucks, but it's a game. Play it. I mean, most of our
Well,
childhoods were filled with it.
Funnily enough, anytime anybody ever went to play Monopoly in the past, it's like, this game's been going on for 6 hours and we're still barely anywhere in it. But now there's been a lockdown. I played a game of Monopoly with my wee lad, and we ended up parking it twice and played a game across 3 days. We eventually had enough time to play a game to its natural conclusion.
I love that fact. Obviously because of lockdown, I've rewatched Porridge again. Which, for those of you who don't know, because you're too young, Porridge is a British BBC comedy set in a prison, starring Ronnie Barker, and there's a bit where they're playing Porridge or playing Monopoly, sorry. And it's like, how long has this game been going on now? 3 days, because they keep cheating each other. If you made it into Porridge, you were all right. So there we go. That's us. You can all leave now. We're done. We're finished. Thanks for watching. If you did, if you made it this far in, heck, you should win a prize. Don't know.
Kudos for getting this far.
If you made it this far, congratulations. We can now tell you the secret, and the secret is